Hey, Austin.
Hey, Trey.
Hey, guess what?
What?
We're going to do a SeatGeek ad.
Oh, yeah? You didn't like the last one we just tried to do?
No, I didn't.
Well, my name is Joe Q StubHub, and maybe you could convince me.
Look, Joe Q StubHub, buying tickets has been a confusing process for a long time.
That's what we do over at StubHub.
You make it tough for the people, but SeatGeek, they're different, Mr. StubHub man. Okay?
Well, that's why they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they've come along and made a great app. SeatGeek is always the first place I look for tickets, okay? Not one of you who are trying to shamboozle and wabizzle people.
Look, we offer a confusing and expensive experience.
Right, which isn't what people want, man. I got the SeatGeek app on my phone, and I used it the other day to buy tickets for said insert concert game here, and everything about SeatGeek is designed to make life easier for sports and music fans.
Well, if you want convenience, then the times sure have changed. I don't know what people want anymore.
Well, look, okay, SeatGeek does all the price comparisons for you by searching multiple ticket sites and ensuring that you get the best possible deal for your dollar. SeatGeek does all the work. And you save time and money, Mr. StubHub.
All right, you've convinced me.
Good. Best of all, for listeners of Super GamesCast 64, they get a $20 rebate off their first SeatGeek purchase. Download SeatGeek app, go to the settings tab and hit a promo code and enter the promo code SUPER. And SeatGeek will send you a $20 rebate after you've made your first ticket purchase.
Pretty rad.
Download the SeatGeek today.
Yep.
And do it.
Yeah.
Just
Here's what I do.
Yeah.
I find tickets for under $20, and then I scam the hell out of them, and they got to send me money.
That's not what SeatGeek's about. SeatGeek's about helping
SeatGeek will fill your pockets. That's their tagline.
Yeah. SeatGeek. Just do it.
Okay.
Hey, everybody, this is Nolan North, and I've already stopped listening to Super GameCast 64. You should, too.
Let's go.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Super GamesCast 64. This is the show where we talk about video games and all the fun video game things you can ever want to talk about. This week, Austin is not here. We had some fights, again, some debates, about money and contracts and legal issues and all that stuff. So Austin's not on the show anymore. He's gone. He's dead. To me, at least. Like, he's still alive, but he's dead to me. This week we have two lovely people of this earth. We got Aaron.
That's me.
That's you, Aaron Brittain. Speaking to the mic.
Kind of like that.
Gotta get the mic right up there.
Like Brittain.
Brittain. I thought it was Brittain.
Brittain is,
I thought it's one of those like names
one of
where
those
you're
tomato things.
supposed
right?
to say. It looks like you're gonna say Britain, but that just makes you look like an idiot. So you have to say Brittain, right?
Well, you
It's
did a
Britain?
good job looking like an idiot.
I'm a big jerk. All right, and we also have his sister, Cameron Brittain. Brittain. She goes by Brittain. You go by Brittain.
Yeah.
Get it right.
Yeah, it is very.
replacing Austin.
Everyone's got different ways to say it, I guess.
Being Austin's replacement.
Yeah, Austin's replacement. We need two people to replace Austin because contractually he demanded that.
He left a large void.
He
with
did leave a
us.
large void. It's just trying to correct these mics here. Sorry, it's a little distracting. No, yeah, he left us, and it's okay. We'll press on without him. Just it's all good. Anyway, Aaron here. You may have heard of Aaron because I've talked about building my PC before, and and Austin Engler has been on the podcast, and Aaron is Austin's former roommate, longtime friend, best buds. They go way back, right?
We may even be called lovers.
They are lovers, actually. I didn't want to out that, but if you're just gonna say it on the podcast, it's fine.
That's just what we are, bro. Then
Just it. That's it.
that's it.
All right.
There's nothing else to it.
Nothing else to it. Okay. So, have you ever been on a podcast before?
I have
Both
not.
of you? No, this is your
I
first
haven't.
podcast?
My
No.
first one
First
is you're popping my cherry.
I know. I'm
Ooh,
sorry.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Wow, Trey, that's impressive. Two
Yeah.
cherries at once.
Yeah, that's how I do it. Two at the same time.
Double trouble.
EP.
So let me know a little about both of you. So where did you go to? You went to you're a UNT student,
UNT student.
right?
Mechanical engineering, 5th year. I'm ready to be done. But it's interesting. I'm ready to get my big boy job, though. Stop being a poor college student.
You're very into space and stuff, right? That's
I
your
like
big
space.
deal.
Space.
You played that. I remember that space simulator you were playing a while ago.
Wasn't what was it?
It was before No Man's, Sky came
no,
out.
that was a disappointment. That was an abortion of a video game.
They actually did some updates, which
saw that.
we talked about last week. If you're listening in order, they did some updates. I don't know if you've gone back and played it all. Have you?
I have not, but it looks good. They have their whole multiplayer thing that they're trying to incorporate, which I feel like they should have just done right off the bat.
Mm-hmm. I think they were trying to kind of make an artistic statement. You can speak up whenever you want, Cameron, too. Sorry. I think they were trying to like.
I'm a woman with little words.
No, you are a human being.
You have a large voice.
Said a
and
woman.
You are empowered.
You are empowered with that microphone. So yeah, I think they were trying to go for more of a single player experience, and I don't think a lot of people wanted that with that game in particular.
Yeah,
because they were kind of promising certain things.
You can only take that so far, though. That single player experience with, exploring. Procedurally generated sounds cool and everything, but after a while, you're going to be generating the same thing over and over again. The only way to, I feel like, kind of diversify that a bit would be to have some kind of multiplayer aspect to that, add another dynamic to that.
Yeah. I think when you have something like Horizon or a Zelda, where it's a little more quest based, and it's a little more quest based, a little more story based. Where No Man's Sky tried to put a story in, but it kind of just seemed like just a story to have a story.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just seemed like it would be good for multiplayer. Then, it didn't really suit itself for just being a story kind of game.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
And that's what they kind of promised to a little bit with the whole, you can maybe meet somebody.
It just seemed like it was kind of like you had to go on your own adventures by yourself.
Yeah.
Which
I
amazing.
like, though. I do like that.
I don't know, it just didn't seem like it had a story.
I mean, it did. It was one of those things where, you picked up bits and kind of like Dark Souls story with a lot less to it. In Dark Souls, you pick up a lot of the story from reading item descriptions and reading lore. And then in No Man's Sky, it's similar in that way, except there's a lot less of the lore, and it's a lot more obscure.
And it's because it's so procedurally generated, it doesn't feel like it's weird because it doesn't necessarily feel like it's a story that has any kind of substance or...
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's applicable to any of the environment around you, really. You know? I mean, because it changes for everyone, kind of.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Into the mic, buddy.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry about that. I got into my my thinking.
No, it's all good. Just I know. I mean, it's tough, when you're not used to the mics. It's all good.
It's my first podcast.
It's your first podcast.
Be easy.
Talk into the mic like this.
I'll be easy on you
I'm
guys.
here.
I'll be easy. I'll be easy, buddy. Don't worry.
Be gentle.
I'll be gentle. Cameron, so let me know about. I've never met you, Cameron. This is the first time I met you. So you're Aaron's sister, right?
Yes, I
Younger
am.
sister? Or?
Younger.
Okay. Aaron's a young-looking guy, so I don't know, younger or older. Who knows? So, trust me, my sisters all look way older than me, and I'm the oldest. So, where do you go to school? Or you don't have to say what school you go to. Are you in high school, college, or?
Going into community college this year.
Nice.
Just moved here from Houston, actually.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
New town.
Yeah, new town.
New people.
New people.
It's very scary. Kind of cool though.
Yeah.
It ain't scary. You've made more friends in the month you've been here than I have in 4 years. How is that scary?
I'm in a bike group, okay?
Bike group?
Bike, yeah.
Okay. She got a whole squad.
Make sure you use your consonants.
I got my whole squad. Bike.
Okay.
Bike.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, remember
vroom,
your
vroom.
words. That's what you go to school for, Cameron.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Right. So do you
wordy
play
word book?
Do you play video games a lot? Like, what's your what do you play? I guess.
I played the PS4 a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly Destiny.
Okay.
I was really big on that.
Are you excited for Destiny 2?
I am.
Mhm.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. It's just,
Yeah, I've got that
it's supposed to be a whole
pre-ordered for
different
PC,
story.
Mhm.
and I don't have a single person to play it with, but I'm so hyped to play it.
Yeah. I don't know. I debated, but it's just I got so many. The only people I do know are going to play it on like different platforms, and it seems like, I mean, I have players I know in Battlegrounds, which we're going to talk about, which I've barely put much time into, and then I kind of want to get. I have so much in my backlog. I just don't feel like I have time or the money to buy another game that I don't think I'm going to spend that much time on.
Well,
But I understand though, like it's probably the hottest game this side of Mario Odyssey that's coming out this.
He's wanting me to build a PC, but it's
Yeah.
kind of expensive. I really want to, but
credit cards are for.
It is.
So-
you know what? I'll do that when I get into school.
Yeah. So Aaron and Austin have built. How many PCs have you guys built?
Is it 4?
That's
5?
a big number. So let's see. I built mine. We built Austin's. We built yours. I rebuilt Jonathan's. I built Michaela's. Let's see. I think there's a couple more in there somewhere here along the way. I just can't remember them at the moment. And then we have modified PCs along the way, adding components, taking stuff apart, just for the fun of it.
When do you know, like, okay, I need to upgrade this?
It depends on who you are. Like, so say you're somebody who likes things in excess, and you want 200 frames a second for your game just because you like to play with excessive stuff. Then as soon as the next the graphics card comes out, you're gonna go get that. But if you're somebody who's just trying to play a game at 60 frames a second, I mean, that's kind of, as games come out and new gaming engines come out, you just kind of have to get a feel for it. So like, download the next game. Say like when Destiny 2 comes out, it's going to be pretty taxing. It's a beautiful game. But, with all the new graphic settings that's going to apply to that, you just kind of have to honestly just really get a feel for it on your PC. There's no real way to just like evaluate it for your graphics card.
Because the one you built me is like pretty brand new.
Yeah,
I mean, it is brand new. I'm good for a few years. Yeah.
Amazing PC.
But I'm just wondering. But, I got that blue screen again, and but I think I know what it is because I looked it up. I think for some reason my my webcam was affecting it. I think certain drivers
Heard of
are.
that,
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I think so.
That's weird.
It is weird, and I don't know. Sometimes the hardware doesn't really like interact with the PC like it should. But I don't know. Also, there's different generations of things. Like I'm using GTX 980, which, I have an ultra wide screen. This is about 2K content, just not 2K pixel density, and I still run just about everything 60 frames a second or more, even when crazy shit's going on. So, I mean, really, it just all depends on what you want and what you're playing. Also, so I know you play a lot of indie games. So the 1070 you got might be a little overkill for you, but you're gonna have
I just downloaded
PC.
Prey because they actually there's a deal right now, 50% off on Prey, and that's a game I've been wanting to play for this year, just like Game of the Year stuff, and also I like to do a video game film school on that. So yeah, I mean it's $30 right now on Steam.
No, that's not bad.
So yeah, I'm trying to kind of, with purchases, kind of be smart about where I'm going to buy it. So like, let's say, what's a game? Like Wolfenstein. Then I feel like, okay, I have Wolfenstein, the first one on PS4. Maybe I just buy it on PS4 since I have that. It might, then, I don't know, because it is a first-person shooter. I don't know. But
I really like the premise, and I know this isn't new because Wolfenstein has been around for a long time, but that whole Nazi Germany won and has taken over idea, and they have all these crazy technology and all these crazy inventions that
Very cool idea.
they've got with, amazing graphics. It looks like fun. I don't know if you've watched any of the trailers.
Oh yeah,
for the
I've seen a
gameplay
few,
and
and
everything.
it's very Glorious
for
Bastards. And
PS4 or for PC?
it's
I
all
think it's all
platforms,
but
but
will
Switch.
obviously be most beautiful on PC.
Sure,
But
most glorious.
And
I'm not gonna say I disagree to that, but
No, I'm with you though, because I'm a console player. Like
Uh-huh.
I play most things on console, and I like a controller. I like using it. I don't
Yeah.
like mouse and keyboard at all. And I
Yeah,
guess
he
it's a
always-
thing you have to get used to.
he
But
always tells me I can use a controller on the computer too.
yeah,
yeah, there's
Try
a
to
Yeah,
convince
you
me
can.
to buy one.
yeah, I do that too. Like the Xbox controller,
Mhm.
PlayStation controller works too.
Yeah.
there's a neat little program called DS for Windows if you want to use a say
You
a
hacked into
PS4
my-
controller.
I got a question because you hacked in. All right, you were allowed to hack into my PC, right? Okay,
What we
you were
call a
allowed to.
hack.
We use a screen share. He was helping me out with I forget what it was. Oh, it was just that audio issue.
You've hacked
Yeah.
into my
So
computer,
I
too.
went to the bathroom right after we talked, and then I heard frickin' that song play again. What song was it?
Firefly.
Firefly. So did you go back in and play it?
Well, I walked over there. I noticed you hadn't ended the
Oh,
connection. I was like,
Okay.
I'm gonna play him some
I
Fireflies.
thought you had ended the connect. I thought it was funny, but especially because I was on the toilet, I had to listen to that for 10 minutes. But
And I went in there. I was like, ha, Trey, you sad
Yeah.
little man. I'm gonna play you some Fireflies. Hit play, ended the connection, and just let you have it.
that was great. So I got a question though. In theory, let's say, hey, I'm going to give you my whole Steam library. You can just go into my PC and just take all the files and put them over to yours.
Well, I'm not really sure how that would work. I've never tried that. I know the file sharing process takes a very long
Mhm.
time. So, say you got a 60 gig game, it's going to take a very long time to do that because it goes through the program.
Yeah.
File sharing, and I've never actually tried that before. I have
Mhm.
no idea if that would work.
Yeah. I mean,
But
we could try
I
it.
know that
The
well,
great
actually, I don't
robbery.
know necessarily.
I'm sure
but-
there's some security stuff.
Yeah, as far as like you purchasing a game on Steam, you have access to it now versus like it just. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
If it just because some games you can go out and buy a CD, install it on
Yeah.
your computer that are on Steam, and then you can just add it to your Steam library. So maybe.
Well,
But I
also
wonder,
maybe
like-
maybe it has to do with like your because I know you always have to have a pin when
Well,
you
I'm
like buy a
thinking
game on
maybe-
Amazon.
When you buy it, maybe like because you know how when we used to buy games a long time ago,
Mhm.
and they came with a serial code for
Yeah.
PC. I'm wondering when you buy like a Steam game.
I
if
think that's
kinda
what it
how
is.
works.
Because
Yeah.
when you buy it on like I bought Civilization on Amazon, they just give me a code
Yeah,
and then I put it in. Yeah.
I think that's got to be the
Mhm.
issue there.
Yeah.
Which we could try it though. I'd be interested to find
we
out
could,
if
we
that
could
works.
see. I don't want it to affect any kind of security things though. I don't want it to be like, oh, you're stealing or then you get like
Or
your Steam account
illegal.
closed.
We
And
could always share Steam accounts,
don't.
but then the issue is if you want to be using your Steam account,
Yeah.
then like while I'm on it, then
Mhm.
one of us has to be off of it.
And you can like gift games, right? You can like
Yeah.
just trade and all that.
Yeah, I've gifted her like a Party Crasher.
given me a few
Castle
games.
Crashers. Excuse me. Went on sale the other day for like $1.50. I bought it for her and Michaela and gifted it to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And that was cool.
Cool.
It's cool. It's a fun little game to
Mhm.
waste time on.
So what have you guys been playing recently?
Well, lots of Battlegrounds, a little
Mhm.
bit of BF1, but I've been sucked into the Battlegrounds craze. It's other first person shooters are good. I played Battlefield 1 for a really long time and I'm all right at it. But Battlegrounds, I'm not great at Battlegrounds by any means, but the adrenaline of playing a game like that is
Winning.
just
Like
adrenaline
the
of
one time
winning.
that you won and
Oh my
like,
God,
didn't
yeah.
stream it.
It
and
is just
completely fucked up.
amazing, and especially when you're down to the last 5 people and you're sitting there, you're like, I can't see a single person, but I know they're all in this,
Yeah.
this like 50-foot vicinity, and it's kind of scary because you like 1 second you're alive, the next they'll kill you before you can turn around.
It's a weird. You know what? Let's just get into it. I mean, I haven't really been playing too much since. I guess this is kind of a weird episode since we're doing this 2 weeks. So yeah, it doesn't matter what I'm playing because I'm playing something probably different. But so anyway, we'll just go into Battlegrounds right now. So yeah, like I played for the 3rd time tonight before I got
Nice,
here.
nice.
And I felt I got a little better. I left the plane like right away. I got into a house and I got a bunch of gear, and I'm still trying to figure out the controls, and I actually found a buggy like this time. I don't know if they've added something, because the first 2 times I played, I never found any kind of vehicle,
Well,
but
they
I was
changed the
finding
way that
buggies
they
everywhere.
spawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. A
Go
little more
ahead,
into the mic
go
too.
ahead.
Yeah, a little more into the mic also.
Oh, sorry
Yeah,
about that.
You're good. I'm just trying to make sure it sounds all good, because sometimes they'll just be really low. Some will be really low, some will be really high, and the levels just get weird.
Aaron's bad at his job. You might need to bring back Austin.
It's all good, dude. It's all good. It's your first time in front of a mic. It's all good.
In front of all these people.
Yeah, all these people here,
Those
whole
TVs.
audience. Yeah,
And that's
so many.
scary.
It's very
I
scary.
just can imagine you guys naked.
All right,
I don't
you
know
don't
if you
probably
wanna
want to
do
do that. No, that's your
I'm your
sister and
sis.
a really gross-looking guy. You don't want to do that.
I'm really, really into that right now, Trey.
Oh, God.
Step out from behind the table.
Okay, I'm good. I'm not wearing any pants. That's why. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know if it was something. Maybe it's just because of my rank. I was maybe in an easier round, or I don't know. I don't know if they do that, or
Yeah, actually, from what I've heard from I've heard from, I watch a lot of streamers that play, and through patch notes and through those streamers, I've found out that how you do in your games actually determines who they're going to put you with.
Mhm.
Because
Makes sense.
PlayerUnknown's whole idea of making the game, which originally actually started as a mod for H1Z1, was he wants to find who's the best player, who's gonna consistently win this battle royale type game mode. So the game will put you with similar stats players,
Mm-hmm.
people that do similarly as you do in most of their games.
Yeah. And I got to 25 or 23.
Nice.
I didn't kill anyone. I did hit a guy a few times. He didn't see I was there, and that was pretty cool. But I got shot from behind. Because here's my problem with the game. Not my problem, but where I'm really struggling is when the field starts shrinking. I just don't know where I'm supposed to be going. I understand the blue line closes in, but there's always that red marker. I guess I'm kind of
The
struggling.
red circle?
Yeah, the red circle. Yeah.
The red circle is actually a bombing zone. So that's
That's where they're bombing.
Yeah,
You don't want to be
wanna
there at
stay
all.
away from that
Okay.
one.
That might be the problem. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm always dying in this red circle.
Yes.
That one's kind of like you can definitely survive in the bombing zone.
Mhm.
It's not hard, but it's like getting struck by lightning.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not gonna happen, but it can
Yeah.
happen. And I mean, I know there's a couple of games where me and Austin, there was one actually. I think we might have been streaming. We hopped in a car and we were about halfway through. I think we were at about 30 players, and we're driving around. And I flipped to the car in a field, and as we're rolling, a bomb struck the bottom of the car, blew us both to hell. And
I think I was there during that time. I think
You might
I don't know.
have
Might have been. Might have been just sitting there.
actually, I think because I know you've watched us play,
Yeah.
so that you might have been there during
Watching
that.
it. Yeah. So this game, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, it came out as a early access game. When did it come out? Do you?
As far as date, I don't know. It's only
me,
been out for
It came out earlier
6
this
months,
year.
right?
Yeah, it's. I remember first hearing about it on the Giant Bombcast.
So I started playing it last semester. During it came out some point in the middle of last semester, like March-ish.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's when it started getting really big. And then I think I started playing in about April because I know finals were coming up and I'd just gotten into it, and that was a huge drag on my studying. But I still got it done. But Jesus, I spent so much time on that game.
So it's an Arma 2 mod, right? In DayZ Battle Royale. Okay, from DayZ. So yeah, and I sound like such an idiot probably on this podcast, but I just don't. So
H1Z1 mod.
H1Z1. It says, all right. So lead designer Brendan Green, better known as online player handle PlayerUnknown, and that's the guy who developed it, had previously created the Arma 2 mode DayZ Battle Royale. Okay. For the so DayZ is a mod of Arma 2.
I think so.
Okay.
Which
and then
DayZ was an interesting game, but it flopped.
Mm-hmm. And it's weird that this, because from what I've heard, and I'm not stoked in the PC culture, so I don't know too much about a lot of these PC games and their genesis. And that's why I wanted to bring you guys on, or Aaron on. You too, though. Because I just don't know, and it seems like you're more versed into mods. First of all, explain how that's legal mod, like how a mod is legal to sell.
Well, the Steam market is very open to modifying because that's how games continue to grow. That's how a game that's been out for 10 years continues to have a player base is mod support. I
understand like mods like GTA 5, you put a mod in for some crazy race or something like that, but like as far as like creating a different game from that engine.
Actually, so the reason it's a different game, and because it started as it was a mod and it was game mode.
Okay.
In H1Z1, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone liked it so much that the developers for H1Z1 came to him and were like, "Hey, let's make this a standalone game.
Okay.
And let's sell this."
All right, so he had backing from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. And
it's interesting that they can do that.
Yeah.
Because you hear about like Nintendo anytime like they have a Metroid mod or something like that, they can shoot it down.
Yeah,
but you
AM2R.
you get the more American developers. I don't know if Arma is an American developer or not. Or the people who did Arma, I don't know if they're American or not. I don't want to speak up, but usually the Japanese and even there's plenty of American developers are like that too, and especially like probably Microsoft. But it seems that American developers are more keen to let you mod their game and let you use their assets and stuff like that, and like fan games and stuff like that. And like Sonic Mania just came out, which is a fan game pretty much. Like it started off as a fan game and then they let them make it, and now it's like one of the best Sonic games of the last while. So it's interesting. So it's legal because they let them do it pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's actually a lot of Valve games that allow the same type of
like Gary's mod and stuff, right?
Yeah, and actually, what was it? Dota was actually a mod, and it's a standalone game now. But it came from a mod.
It came from where did it come from?
Actually, I think if I'm not wrong here, it came from StarCraft.
Okay.
Which is pretty interesting.
They got the new StarCraft. They got a new StarCraft.
Yeah, they're coming out with the remaster.
Okay, the remaster.
That's real nice.
Okay. So yeah, that's interesting. So it started off, and it's sort of based off the movie Battle Royale. It's based off the 2000 film Battle Royale, and what it came out. I'm trying to find when it hit early access. I'm trying to find it. I found. Let me see here. God, I'm going through the Wikipedia. This is why you prepare for games beforehand. March 2017 for Windows.
Okay, so I did have.
You're
pretty
about
accurate.
right. Yeah, awesome. And it came out really early, and then it just. Why is this? Why do you think this game built up so much steam? Because there's been battle royale kind of games like this before, right? And survival kind of games and big tournament, but this seems to have kind of, like last year, Overwatch was the big thing. Like this is the big thing this year. Like this is what everybody's playing.
I've been asking myself the same question, but
yeah, Destiny. Too. Yeah. I think Destiny had to build up steam though. It wasn't
then also died off.
Yeah, and they updated it and it got better and better and better. But this is like a phenomenon. Like I have
record sales.
Yeah, that would be like Destiny 2. It's just we already know what to expect.
Right.
But Battlegrounds is just a different.
And I got also PlayerUnknown's sells 7 million copies, passes 600,000 concurrent users. And I think it passed like GTA 5 is the most sold on Steam or something.
It was actually top of the charts for how much it was sold for a while.
Yeah.
It might still be like number 1 or 2, somewhere around there, which is unbelievable. And the player base for it is enormous because, 100-player games, you always just about instantly find a lobby full, which is, ridiculous. Playing other games like Battlefield 1. I still enjoy playing that, but there's lots of times where I get thrown into an empty game because it's just, it was so big, had so much hype, and huge developer, but it fell off.
It seems like there's a lot of these it seems like there's almost too many of these big multiplayer kind of games as a service kind of games out there where, they're expecting you to sink all this time and all these resources, and there's just so many of them that it's kind of, you would expect more to fall off like that. And it's weird which ones stick. I think this one sticks definitely because I can feel it just playing it, because it's gathering resources, it's trying to be stealthy, trying to be secret, then it's not just guns a-blazing.
Very
It's,
Absolutely. You
strategic
can play it
game.
as you
Yeah.
want.
exactly.
You can be that guy who stealths his way to the end of the match, doesn't see a guy, doesn't shoot a guy, or you might see some people and you hide.
Mm-hmm.
That's your strategy, and you can win that way. Kill one person at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, you won. Or you can be the guy who goes guns blazing and risk it all, and then have that great sense of when you kill that guy, his game's over.
Mhm.
He started a game, he invested 25 minutes into it, his game's over.
Yeah.
So there's that sense of, I just, bested that guy, and, I was better. And then you get to the end, and, you won guns blazing, and it was risky the entire time. You could have, since you are just running around making a lot of noise, easily gotten popped off by somebody 300 meters away, or a guy behind the door with a shotgun. So there's a lot of ways to play it, and I think that's part of why people enjoy playing it as much as they do. And all the streamers, and it's got a huge, I think it kind of built upon itself with how many people, people played it, streamed it, other people saw it, streamed it, and then it just built from there. They didn't even need to advertise for it.
That's kind of how a lot of these developers are trying to make their games now. Is it streamable? Is this going to stream well?
Mhm.
Hellblade just came out, and that's a whole different kind of game, but that's not. It's a really interesting game, and but it's not necessarily a game that streams well. Because it's very slow. It's a lot more story and visual and sound and atmospheric. It's not a great game to stream, but it's getting critical acclaim for other reasons. But this game, they've made a game that's, I think it's at least number 2, right? It's passed.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah.
And for the first time in a long
It's
time,
usually League, Dota,
Yeah.
and then
it actually, I think, kicked one of those out of its
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
Kicked Dota or League out of its spot, which is unheard of
Mhm.
for streaming. And so many people streaming, and even I stream it every once in a while, and I don't stream that often.
Mhm.
And when I do, it's an enjoyable experience. It's very dynamic, so it's not going to be the same thing every time you stream.
Mhm. So, what improvements have they made throughout, I guess, since you've been playing it? What patches have they kind of put in? What improvements have they made? I've heard about a few things, they added a horn so you can honk, and they've, first player mode. Now it's accessible with the Xbox controller. They're also eventually going to be putting this on Xbox One first. Eventually it'll go on PS4 at some point.
Hopefully, that's not actually confirmed.
But it's
It has
gonna
to,
happen.
right?
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Just because it seems like Xbox One, everything that is exclusive on there, except it's first party, is going on PS4 eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be on PS4 at some point, but it's not confirmed yet. It's just Xbox One. So what improvements have you've seen going on? What maybe things you don't like about new improvements? What improvements do you like?
The biggest is obviously the horn.
Yeah.
Hands down. And then, they've come out with a couple, honestly, the most anticipated one right now is the first person mode, the addition of, because, with the fact that everyone's playing third person, those people can get information on you, or vice versa. You can get information on them without them actually knowing that you're there. So there's a level of, when you die, there was no skill involved in you defending yourself because that guy could see you from behind the wall, So that's what some players are having an issue with, and that's why, I've seen some people that won't play the game because it's in third person. So now that the first person comes out, it adds, I think, the skill level that everybody was wanting to the game. It's all dependent on you. Did you see that guy, with your screen, not information that's basically stolen from the camera above your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have time to react to that guy and shoot him first because that's your skill level? You've played the game that much versus you just.
So
got
you say
popped
it's
from around the
harder
corner.
to play in first person than third?
I wouldn't say it's harder, but it takes a different approach to playing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I kind of enjoy about
Yeah.
it. I don't have to necessarily worry about somebody, getting the drop on me when I had no idea where they were.
Mm-hmm.
I can, if he's popping around the corner, I see him doing,
Mhm.
So that was one of the biggest updates, if not the biggest. And they're adding a few more things here and there. A lot of them are bug fixes. Actually coming out with a new map relatively soon.
Yeah.
Which is going to be nice. It's like a desert town kind of area, like a Red Dead Redemption type kind of thing.
There you go.
Which is going to be really cool.
Mhm.
As seeing what they did with the map the way it is now, and being able to improve on that, it's going to be pretty cool, I think.
What would you? Because I've heard a lot of talk I've heard about is from the Giant Bombcast. They've been talking about this all year. It seems like. I don't mean to promote another podcast on my podcast, but hey, just the deal. So, but they were kind of talking about, putting in like animals or maybe some more sort of more obstacles. Would that improve or hinder the experience? So let's say it is in the West, and you got like a mountain lion comes and just tackles you, like almost like kind of like Far Cry. Do you think would that hinder or make it more exciting? Or do you think since it is such a
interesting,
yeah,
having
Personally,
animals.
I think it would totally be more exciting.
Mhm.
'Cause
but it is such a skill-based game that it kind of it's almost cheating. Do you
I
think
wouldn't
that or
necessarily say that. I think if you are getting killed by an animal, say you've seen Far Cry played, right?
Mhm.
Most of the time, you're not getting killed by the animal.
Mhm.
The animal's an
Adds to
extra
the
dynamic
experience.
in the game.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see them walk around and say, like, say you've got, a couple of mountain lions somewhere, or you got some rhinos somewhere, because, that's where they are. Then you can't necessarily, you have to make a decision. Can you shoot them, go, perhaps loot whatever those animals have if
Mhm.
they decide to put loot on them?
That'd be a good idea, yeah.
Or,
Lure your
kill
enemy
them.
towards the animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have your
or
animal.
kill them, go to and then use that area as cover if there's good cover there, or do you just avoid them completely? But say that they were occupying a good space that would be a good vantage point, and you make the decision to kill those animals. Then in PlayerUnknown, your gunshots, they ring out.
Mhm.
You can
Yeah.
hear those from up to like 500
And
meters or
it's
something
so
like that.
foreboding when you hear that gunshot. Like,
Mhm.
oh,
Everyone
someone's here.
immediately turns their attention to that direction.
Yeah.
Whether it's
Or
I'm
even
gonna
like
go hunt that
the
guy down,
bombs
or
like that go off. Like it's like
Yeah.
whoa. It's very warlike. You feel like you're in a war zone because
Absolutely.
everything's like you're tense with everything. Yeah.
So I think with the level of decision making that has to go into making just even simple decisions in the game, it would add a pretty cool dynamic to it. But I don't know if everybody would enjoy that. It's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, actually, before I ask that, we didn't even explain what this game was. So maybe just give a description of what this game is, like almost 40 minutes into the podcast. So what is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds for
So-
people who are wondering what the hell we've been talking about?
PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is a battle royale style game mode where you start on an airplane, right? You've got 99 other people with you, or say you're in a squad, then you have 96 other people that
Mhm.
you're fighting to survive on this island. And if you've ever played H1Z1, it's similar to that in that you bail on the plane and you go find loot, and then there's I don't want to call it gas. It's gas in H1Z1, but here it's kind of like an electromagnetic field. But
Yeah, it does look
kills
like
you.
It looks like something from Lost, or
Yeah.
it's just like this field that's coming in. Yeah.
Some kind of force field type.
Dragon Ball
deal.
Z kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
And
than
it presses you inwards towards some, randomly generated, I wouldn't say randomly generated, randomly picked area.
Mm-hmm. The whole
And-
map is stable, but the areas are changing
Yeah.
around. Yeah,
The map
and the loot
is
changes
static.
around too. Yeah,
The loot changes.
the map is gigantic.
Yeah, it's an 8 by 8 kilometer map.
Yeah.
So lots of room to move around on. And there's been plenty of games where I've made it 30 minutes in, not seen a person, and then got popped by
Mhm.
somebody who was sniping. Then, I've just lost, and I don't even know where that guy is.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen that guy. And I haven't
I
seen
think that's what happened
anybody.
to me today, because I
You
was
know.
just running, and then I just got bang, bang, bang in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, you're dead.
And then it's so unsatisfying to just not even see where they were.
Mm-hmm.
Spending all that time in a
Yeah.
game where you haven't even seen
Spending
anybody.
20 minutes, 30 minutes getting all looted up, thinking you're doing all right. Pop, pop, pop. And you just drop.
From a
and
sniper,
game
too.
over. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're
Like
kidding.
you didn't even see that person.
That's what I want to do though. Is get the I like doing the sniping though. Yeah.
I have
That's fun.
actually, that is a extremely fun part of the game. If you can get to a loot crate and
Mhm.
get one of the good snipers, AWM, M24, I think is the other one. It's a couple of them. There's one where me and Austin were playing. Ended up with a I think it's a Car 98. We got a 8x scope on it, and we were actually sitting up top of a hill. And we were killing it. He was spotting people. I was picking them off. I think I ended up with 11 kills. Austin had some, and we were just going ham. And circle's closing in, so we're watching behind us to make sure nobody comes up. And apparently, somebody had just been chilling and watching us the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Walked up there while we had our backs turned. Pop, 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 pop. All of us were
Damn.
dead before we could even turn around.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so exciting, they're hiding behind a tree. You pop off a shot, and they start scattering because they have no idea where you are. So that's one of the most exciting parts of that game is being able to snipe if you can do that.
Do you think they'll ever add like planes or helicopters or anything like that in there? Would that be too overpowered?
No, I don't think so. I think that would kind of defeat the purpose
Yeah.
of it requiring skill, because then, like in other games where that's fine because you respawn immediately because
Yeah.
you couldn't kill the tank, which is OP. Because that's how vehicles typically are in video games, is they're OP in PvP situations, and they're meant to be. But I think in a situation like that, where you only encounter one or two people here and there, it would be too much.
Yeah, I agree with you. It would be a little much. I didn't even take into account the respawn aspect of it, where you don't respawn, so when you're dead, it's kind of cheap. Oh, you just got killed by it. If you have the tank, you're
But there are
invincible.
vehicles.
Oh well, like a big tank, like
yeah, I mean, there's vehicles, but there's nothing
Like
like
there's no
the-
weapons
yeah.
on them.
They can run you over in those vehicles, and I have killed plenty of people by running them over. It's fun, but you can definitely get killed out of the vehicle.
Mhm.
It's happened to me many times. You can definitely, have your vehicle destroyed, it explodes, or you can have the tires taken out. There's
Yeah.
lots of times where I see a vehicle, like somebody will go park, hop out of it to go loot something. I'll just take out their tires, and it's useless.
Yeah. What improvements would you like in the game?
Oh, they've got it feels really blocky. Like,
Mhm.
really, how Fallout 3 was
Yeah.
in its gunplay? It was really, I think that's the best way I can describe it, is just it's kind of blocky. And it doesn't feel fluid,
Mhm.
whereas other first-person shooters, say, any kind of COD, any kind of Battlefield, Doom felt really fluid. It feels blocky.
Mhm.
And I don't know what that is, how you can improve that necessarily. I guess that's kind of like movement mechanics. But I'd like to see that kind of a little bit more fluid. And then there's the lag. The lag, especially in the first 10 minutes or so in the game, is awful. And especially in the first-person mode.
Mhm.
And as people start dying off, as you lose about 30 or 40 of the other players in the game, it stabilizes, But in the beginning, it is sometimes unplayable, like how laggy it is. And I have to hop servers to, say, the Asian servers. And, I mean, it gets to the point sometimes where I will walk into a house 6 or 7 times over and then just say, screw it, because I can't even get in there. You walk in, it shoots you back out. Walk in, shoots you back out. Or you're trying to open a door and it just keeps opening and closing. And it's like, those are the main issues I have with the game. Otherwise, I love it. And it doesn't take away from me enjoying the game usually. So they are issues, but not.
They're fixable.
They're fixable, and they're not game breaking, in my opinion.
Okay. The game comes out of early access this year, right? Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit later than anticipated, but yeah, soon enough.
Yeah, because I know certain websites are talking about like Game of the Year stuff, and can you nominate this early access game or not? So yeah, it's interesting. Have you guys been playing anything else besides Battlegrounds, or?
I'm just waiting for Destiny 2 to come out. So
Yeah.
Me
I've
too.
invested so much time in the original Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
That's I'm trying to bide my time until August 29th or whatever the date is that it comes out. But let's see, what other games have I been playing? Played a lot of Dark Souls 3. I finally got Dark Souls 3 not too long ago.
Yeah.
And I'd never, I'd seen it played. It looks fun, but I never understood the hype until I got into it. And it is a fun game. It's hard, but it's enjoyable. Because I like a game with a challenge. Just like Doom. I played through Doom, Nightmare difficulty. I've tried many attempts at the, permadeath difficulty, and it's fun because it's difficult. And I think
You
that's
said-
why.
You said you were playing on
Or
normal, right? And it was
On what?
difficult on Dark
Oh
Souls.
yeah, Dark
No,
Souls.
Dark
is-
Souls, you don't get it. You don't get
No.
to choose the
No?
difficulty.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
give you
okay. It's
hard
just
as shit.
automatically.
yeah.
hard. And it's not necessarily like, from what I hear, it's hard, but you get it's a learning curve. Like you get the hang
Absolutely.
of it after a
Okay.
while.
But it's not just a learning curve of learning the controls. It's a learning curve of just about every boss room
Yeah.
you get into. You have something new to learn because every one of their dynamics is pretty different. So you have to learn before you can really kill them, unless you're just really, really good. You have to learn their whole moveset.
Yeah.
So you have to go in there and die a couple of times before you get the hang of killing them.
That game scares me. I feel like I might have a blood pressure incident or something like that if I play, because just like going back all the way back to the beginning, once you die, it kind of flips me out a little bit. But I got Bloodborne. I do want to play Bloodborne. I want to play Dark Souls 1 before I play anything else, if I do.
I don't have Dark Souls 1, but I've heard it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between Dark Souls 1 and 3?
Just another
there's-
iteration on it.
The Dark Souls 3, I don't know much about the lore. Follows Dark Souls 1.
There's Dark
but-
Souls 3, Dark Souls 2. I mean, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. And
Yeah.
actually, Demon Souls was the original one, right? Where that was like the first one of those Souls games.
I'm not sure. I'm still new to the
All right,
Souls
yeah,
games.
the Demons. It was Demon Souls, which was supposed to be a PlayStation exclusive, but PlayStation didn't want it. And then they got so then they did Dark Souls 1. I think it's what's the studio name? It's
for Dark
It's some-
Souls, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it.
It's the same
head.
studio. They did all 3 Dark Souls. Look it up for me, I guess, while I'm
Okay.
talking. And then they did a PlayStation exclusive. It was the same studio did. I guess Dark Souls 2 wasn't from. I don't think they were the same. I don't know. I think they were, but just look all this up for me right now.
I'm looking at.
Yeah. Then Bloodborne was a PlayStation exclusive. It followed in the Dark Souls. It wasn't a Dark Souls.
From Software.
From Software, yeah, I knew it was something like with an F. And From Software did Bloodborne, and Bloodborne was a little more faster somewhat than Dark Souls. It was a little more quick. You had a gun for like defensive weapon. It didn't really do much damage, but it was defensive, and so. Bloodborne looks awesome. Like Bloodborne looks like up my alley. It's very like
Art style
Lovecraft,
is
art
amazing.
style and Lovecraftian, and it looks really cool. That's the thing about those games. It's like, man, I would love to explore that world, but
absolutely.
but it's like the time putting into it, and I would love to. I know I'm gonna get a bunch of tweets and stuff like, Trey, you need to play it. I know I need to play it. I definitely want to play it. It's just it's gonna have to be a time where I'm like, I've cleared a lot of my backlog out. I have a lot of time to sit down with this. And I think with Dark Souls, I know what I'd be getting into, so I wouldn't be that stressed out. But it'd be something I'd have to be like, I don't have anything else to do. I'm good, conscious, not working on anything else.
Oh yeah.
Play this.
It will suck you in and not let you go.
Mm-hmm.
It's if you enjoy that type of game, and I think you either love it or you hate it.
Mm-hmm.
If you love it, it will consume your time.
Sure. Yeah.
Especially, Austin. We were playing Dark Souls after class one day, and we played until just about I went to bed
Mm-hmm.
and woke up the next morning about 8 a.m. He's still playing Dark Souls.
Oh yeah.
He played
Just
through the entire night.
ignoring Maria, all that, playing Dark
Yeah.
Souls. That's Austin for you. But anyway.
And I don't blame him either.
Oh no, yeah, it's
Plenty of
great
times
game.
where I
I could do that with
played the shit
Destiny.
out of it. Oh yeah, I did.
I can't even imagine what it's gonna be like when Destiny 2 comes
Yeah.
out. Oh my gosh.
So,
oh my god.
Are you fine
So
with
we
it
up
being more
all
like
night.
Destiny? What is there going to be a good story involved in this one, or are they
Oh,
doing
yeah.
a story? Okay,
Oh my
is it going to be
goodness.
better than kind of how the first one was,
I
or
wouldn't say better necessarily. There
like is it going to be more of a story?
There is
yeah.
a definite story. So
Because I hear the lore was supposed to be really good, but you kind of had to find it. In the
yeah,
first
there
one,
there was a lot of lore that came from the Grimoire cards, and so if you wanted extreme Destiny knowledge, lore, all
Yeah.
that, you had to get the Grimoire cards and you had to read them, which I kind of liked, but a lot of people
Sure.
were upset. But
And I hear the gameplay is sort of the same as Destiny 1.
yeah,
which-
the gameplay mechanics are the same. I think it's actually the same engine,
okay.
but with the PS4 Pro and the Scorpio
Sure.
and the PC,
Looks better.
they have the ability to put more into it and
Mhm.
make it look better and give you the option to run better
Mm-hmm.
graphics, better textures, higher FPS.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And it seems like one of those cases. I hear Destiny is really fun to play, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
yeah.
So I mean, if people are like, "Oh, it's like Destiny 1," but I mean, it's probably a good thing, right? Because
Well,
people
I
like
mean,
that game.
It won't be a problem for me. So I
Yeah.
put in before I stopped playing, I put in I think 900 hours to Destiny 1.
Wow. All right.
And that was me playing every single
Yeah.
day from release till about a year and a half later, where I started kind of falling off because of school issues.
Mhm.
I was focusing a lot on classes, but I put a lot of time into the game. Was a really, really good player at the game, and so if it is similar to Destiny 1, which it looks like, as far as mechanics go, at least, I'll have a blast.
Mhm.
I'm gonna enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you mentioned school, and I forgot to mention this too. You're in like an engineering major,
Yeah.
correct? Like you're gonna go on and probably improve the world somehow, right?
I wouldn't
or
say
something.
improve,
Like that's the
kinda
thing
like
I'm fascinated about. Like you and Aaron, you and Austin
an Adam.
are and Adam and Aaron and Adam and Austin and Ian. You guys seem to be really smart. But man, you guys spend a lot of time playing. I guess that's hypocritical because I do too. But
It's
it's just-
usually homework and then video games.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though. I like that. I like
We
to.
don't go
Sometimes Video
outside.
games.
Yeah,
and
no outside.
then
Are you an engineering
cram
major?
homework?
What
too?
is outside?
What is that? Are you an engineering major as well?
I'm not.
What's your wanting major? I guess.
Well, I'm kind of conflicted on this one major
Do
that I
math.
want to do. I want to do math, yeah, but there's another one in Colorado.
Yeah.
It's called Adventure Education.
Venture education.
Mhm.
What's that?
Yeah, so it's basically like a college certified park ranger.
Okay.
So like one of the classes is fundamentals of whitewater rafting.
That sounds like a badass major.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all of that.
Lots of leadership classes. You have to learn like how the forest works, stuff
Mhm.
like that. It's very different than
You have to speak for the trees.
speak for the trees.
Become a hippie.
Yes, I will not become a hippie. But as for math as a major, that would be cool too because I could go into astronomical.
like astrophysics.
Classes. Yeah, like
something
astrophysics, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Cosmology.
Yeah, I mean that's
Your
that's a
parents
major
must
part
be
of my
so
life.
proud. My parents are pissed at me and my sisters because we all have like art degrees, and you guys are like astrophysicists and mechanical engineers. Like, good God, your parents must be like, we're good. We don't have to worry about them coming back home. So, yeah.
There's no fucking way.
That's excellent.
Get out and don't come back.
So anyway, I have some Twitter questions if you want to answer some of these. So at AnFernee82, ANFERNEE 82 asks, had any Friday the 13th talk or planning to? Like, have you guys been playing that Friday the 13th at all, or have you heard of it? Or?
I've wanted to. I have heard of it. There was another game that was really similar to it.
Evolve.
Dead by Daylight.
Oh, Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dead by Daylight was
I
real
really wanna
similar,
play that game
but
too.
was clunky and really buggy, which was the reason I actually got rid of it, was because I had a bug where I couldn't play with my friends, whoever, my Steam friends, so I got rid of it. But, having, I think it would be really cool to have a, character that we all know pretty fondly from childhood,
Sure.
Freddy's a pretty scary guy.
Yeah.
And now we can actually...
You mean Jason?
Or wait, was it
Jason?
Jason?
Freddy is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, sorry.
That would be an
but
awesome
there was
game, though.
Freddy
That would
v
be very
Jason,
confusing.
though.
Yeah, Freddy versus Jason. Because
So-
no, you're good. They're both
Yeah,
iconic.
they're both from the
slashers.
same
Serial
killers,
area,
I mean,
same time.
It's no, it's not.
Halloween,
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
Aaron-
Mike
Same
Myers. Halloween.
Aaron got potato brain.
That's a
damn
little
it.
different.
Yeah, come on.
Good God, why are we even doing this podcast?
Nah, good question,
He
Trey.
said everybody's.
Did I say
But-
Aaron? Did I say
the
Aaron
same.
or Adam? Oh wait a minute, what's going
Did
on?
you say Adam?
I said
think
Aaron. I'm
this
always
is just
saying.
derailed.
We just canceled the show.
That's Aaron.
Um,
This is Trey.
Yeah.
So, no, I think it'd be a lot of fun to, have characters that we all know and fear,
Mm-hmm.
and be able to play and run away from those characters, or
Yeah.
slaughter as that
Be
character.
as them.
Yeah,
know?
it seems like a fun game. I hear the servers are kind of shit, but it seems like
be.
it's an enjoyable game. I know John Fahey might be listening right now. He's over next door. He said like he tried to play and just it was just shit. Like the servers were just trash. But I hear it's fun once you get into a server. It's supposed to be a fun game, but when it's supposed to be pretty bad when you're not.
Similar issues with the other types of games
Sure,
like that,
yeah.
that have come out, Dead by Daylight. Similar.
At Crispy Ham, our friend Chris Ham asks, does Austin smell weird? He's probably talking about Austin
Yes.
Guttery. But we'll talk about Ingler too. Does he smell weird?
Yes.
He does?
Yes.
What does he smell
Most
like?
likely.
That was a
Um,
weird question
it
to ask.
depends.
Out of context.
Out of the
Right.
times
What's-
that I've smelled him, they're not
What
The
does
weird
it smell
smells?
like?
the weird smells. Yeah.
The real smells.
Weird smells?
I guess so.
I mean, like
I don't-
coming from that he plays
I don't go
games
smell
all
him very
night. I don't
often.
really know when he showers.
Probably not. That bathroom is
Why don't I
gross.
just tear him apart?
Full disclosure, that
Austin.
bathroom's pretty gross in that bathroom, that he has.
Didn't he just get his water?
Well, I guess
set up?
your old
he
house.
hasn't washed clothes for like a month and a
Oh.
half. Is that what I heard?
I don't know. They're trying to get
'Cause
the
he just got his washer
dryer and washer set
installed.
up.
I haven't been to their new place. Have you been there?
Yeah, it's a nice place actually.
It's gonna get shit with all those
With-
guys living there.
Well,
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
he told me.
He's gonna
The
get
other
shit
day- I
wherever
could see-
Austin lives.
I could see
he's gonna
Richard
shit.
being clean. For some reason, I don't see Ryan being that clean. Maybe it's just because he is a larger man. But maybe I'm
But-
being, what is it, like fat-cist or I don't know.
Well,
Fastest.
Am I fat shaming, saying you're probably sloppy if you're fat? Sorry, Ryan.
I at least know that
Ryan's a friend of mine. I was in their fraternity, so I know Ryan and Richard and all that. So I can say mean things. It's okay. Anyway, what were you saying?
Oh, I don't remember now.
I was saying,
Something about
is their
Austin.
house shitty?
Oh
or-
no! I mean, when I was there was a lot of stuff that needed to be put away
Mhm.
and stuff that needed to go places. But he came over the other day and was like, there were just a mountain of dishes out of the sink, and nobody wanted to do them, and I finally had to do it because I couldn't stand it anymore. I needed a cup.
That's the worst.
Yeah, no, because nobody's gonna want to do
I
those
hated
dishes.
that, man. I always ruin with just like mess, and it's the thing. It's like a chain reaction too, because it's like it's always one guy who doesn't want to clean up, and then you know what? I don't want to clean up, and no one does, and then your
Yeah.
dishes pile up, and you're like putting a cup, like trying to get it in there. God, it's the worst.
Only
and
if
no one
everyone
wants to
could
put
have
things
seen
away.
that movement you just did, whatever that
Well,
was.
that little movement there,
Yeah.
it's trying to get the cup into the
what's going
faucet.
on?
I'm trying to get the cup moving
Well,
the
you
plate
just-
to get to the
You
faucet.
kind of have to stick your face under there and just.
And then you get the old pizza crud on your chin, or yeah, it's gross. I remember once
delicious.
there was a pot and it was just molding over and it was been sitting there for a month and I just had to go in and just pour it out.
So gross.
Where was that?
This was one of my old
What?
apartments
Oh.
in college. Yeah,
It's pretty
This
gnarly.
isn't
That
your
happened
fault,
to
is
us
it?
sophomore
So
year.
this isn't your fault, is it?
it wasn't my fault. No.
Okay.
Stephanie had left a pot full, with green beans out, and then I wasn't gonna clean it because it wasn't mine. Michaela didn't want to clean it because it wasn't hers. And then month goes by, and it could just about speak to us.
Yeah, it had its own zip code. It had
Yeah.
consciousness. It was
Okay.
sentient.
It had its space.
It was doing
program.
math. Yeah, space program. It had its own religion. It was fighting with another mold over
Another
there in
pot.
the corner. Yeah.
Another
Oh
pot in
God.
the
Oh no.
corner.
What are we doing? It was trying to tear down a monument. All that. Anyway.
Fucking green beans.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello, I'm the mold. I'm the best mold. All right. Danny Hernandez asks, "What was the first rated mature game you played?" Mine was
Ooh,
Resident Evil
Halo.
2. Also, would you rather interview Peter Moore or Reggie? Okay. I'll answer the last question. Wait, Reggie? Oh, you mean Reggie Fils-Aimé? I'd rather interview Reggie. I mean, I like Peter Moore, but I'd rather interview Reggie. Yeah, what was your first M-rated game you've ever gotten?
Halo Combat Evolved.
Really?
Yeah, that was the first game I ever played, actually,
God.
video game-wise.
I threw so many fits.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
But
She-
because
What,
it kept
when-
killing me.
what age
Yeah.
were you when you started playing?
7, I think, is when. Wait, so 2001 is when Halo came out.
So how old are you
I
again?
played in
You're-
2001.
You are 23,
So,
right?
22.
Okay, 22. Wow.
So that made me
You're 22
6
too?
when I
I'm
first
18.
played
18.
Yeah.
Okay.
Halo.
Huh?
Made me 6 when I first played Halo.
You can't wait.
Tw-
When did I start
2001.
That was your
playing?
first
When
video
did-
game at
when
6.
did I
So
start
I didn't
playing?
have it then. I played it at I played Chris's Xbox,
Okay.
and because I didn't have it yet, and then I got it, and by the time I got it, she was old enough to be able to play video
Mhm.
games. So I'm gonna throw an age out there, maybe
I'm gonna say
6,
6.
5, somewhere
Young
around there,
age.
and
That's crazy because my first ever video
yeah.
game was Super Mario Bros. 3.
Was
Yeah,
it
most
M-
people's
that's
first-
M-rated?
No, just ever,
Now,
ever.
Could you imagine an M-rated Mario game?
Well, the
God.
Super Mario Odyssey is E10 plus, which has never happened for a Mario game. So it's getting
Whoa,
there.
It's getting crazy.
Getting crazy.
I want to see him jump on a mushroom and just rip its head off.
Yeah, we should
That would
make
be
that
brutal.
game.
You should, yeah.
My first M game was probably Mortal Kombat. Yeah, Mortal Kombat for the N64 or GoldenEye. I don't know which came first, but it was one of those two. It was either
GoldenEye
Mortal
was a good
Kombat or
one.
GoldenEye. Yeah, and that was one of those it was James Bond, so who cares if it's M? That's the weird thing is parents were really strict about me seeing PG-13 movies, but they did not even look at the video game ratings.
Yeah,
They
didn't
knew
know
Grand
yet.
Theft Auto was bad. That was about it.
Yeah, that's the one that they'd all heard of.
Yeah.
So that's the one they all told you. You can't
Avoided,
play
yeah.
GTA.
No, you
but
can't play
oh
that.
yeah,
You can kill
You can
hookers
play
in that
Halo.
game.
when
Halo
you're
is fun.
You don't see any
splattering,
blood.
aliens and blood everywhere.
It's just
yeah, that
aliens.
one's
It's
good.
not humans.
You
Whatever.
can kill a stripper in that game. You can't play that. No.
But then
I
here
heard it on
am at,
Nightline.
8 playing Doom.
Yeah. That's what caused that Columbine. Those two kids played too much Doom. They played all that Doom and they just wanted to kill all that school. That's what happened to all them video games. That video games, that Marilyn Manson. I swear.
Video games with Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, hey, this was the 90s.
Yeah, I hear Satan plays video games.
Satan, all these Satan games these kids are playing. It's making them want to cause murder. Gustav asks, did Austin get sick and pass away? Yeah, he died.
He is currently dead
He's
Buried.
dead. Both Austins are dead. They got sick and passed away.
for now.
Yes, they're t-
Eli
Dead for now.
Jordan, I'm going to save this one for next podcast. It's a little more. I'm going to actually save that one. And then I think we will, we'll probably end it there unless you guys have anything else you want to add.
No, I just hope that anybody listening to this podcast doesn't hate that I was here
No,
instead
it's
of
fine,
somebody
man.
else.
It's all good. We're talking about Players
I mean,
Unknown
Austin's
Battlegrounds.
dead.
So.
We're gonna have to find a replacement for him.
Yeah.
Sometime.
We end off on the Trump, Trey.
No, I'm good. I'm good
Do
for now.
it,
I
do
do
it.
it too much. Anyway, this is Super GamesCast 64. Thank you for listening. This is Adam and Cameron. Where can we? Aaron and Cameron.
It's just me
What?
now.
Okay, at first I thought it was a joke and I was rolling with it until you corrected yourself.
All right, I've told this story on this show before.
Have you?
This is the guy. This is the guy, Aaron, who
Uh,
I always call Adam, and he's
Why?
really it pisses him
because
off.
Trey doesn't love me.
I don't love him. I don't like him at all.
He doesn't care.
I don't
about
care
my
really
feelings.
about him. It's just another dude,
I
you know, another dude.
And it's another guy. I can get another guy anywhere I
You know.
want.
Can't even
anytime
get
I
our
want.
last name right.
Brittain? Yeah, I really can't. Adam Brittain.
Brittain.
I'm gonna start calling you Adam Brittain. Actually, I won't. But no, I'm
embrace
sorry,
that.
and it sucks because I do a film podcast with a guy named Adam now.
Is he Aaron?
No, his name's Adam. His real
You
name's
call him
Adam.
You
Aaron.
should call him Aaron.
I should call him Aaron. I should just to make
You
this
should.
even more confusing.
Call him Aaron Brittain.
Aaron
See what he
Brittain.
says.
All right, I'll do that next time. I'll do that for our podcast. Aaron, where can we find you? Can we find you anywhere? Do you have a Twitter, a YouTube, Twitch? What's your Twitch?
Well,
what's your
Twitch.
social
is just-
medias?
Zero giant squid. I
I
don't
used to have
stream as
MySpace.
often as I should, but when I do, if anybody sees me on there, you want to hop on and say something and say whatever you want. You can insult me. You could play along with me. I don't care. Just interact with me.
All right, Zero Giant Squid.
Yep.
All right, man. Where can we find you? Anywhere? Do you have anything you want to plug? Any plugs?
You know what?
Yeah. What about your new book, Cameron?
Yeah, what
You
about your
coming out
book?
with your new
My-
movie that you're in?
You got a
My
novel?
new book.
Yeah, promote your book. Promote your book right here.
Hey, let's go. Come on.
Let's go. Improv. Promote your book.
It's great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's it
Hey,
called?
It's called I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Wow,
It's best
I
they're
can
making
relate.
they're making a movie, right? It stars Emma Stone, right? What's the movie
Right,
called? Who's starring in it besides Emma Stone?
Freddy
Dwayne
Krueger.
The Rock Johnson
Okay.
is definitely the main character.
Yeah.
And Emma Stone is his daughter,
He
Okay.
knows,
who doesn't
he knows
know
my movie better
what
than
she's
me.
doing with her life.
You're the producer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain the plot of the
Absolutely.
movie, yeah.
Okay, so she doesn't know what she's doing with her life,
That
is
and
the main
neither does
thing.
he,
Yeah.
and nobody knows what is going on.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to be a very low-budget film.
Is Steve Buscemi the love interest?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So she's basically dating a human cigarette,
Yeah.
and Dwayne is not happy.
But yeah, that's her father, right? Okay.
Yes.
It's great casting
And-
choices.
So, to spite her, he actually goes on a date with Steve and steals her man.
Wow, that's
Her
a
man's
very
cigarette.
that seems like a very indie art house film.
It
if we're
is.
going that
It's
route,
very
yeah.
obscure.
Very
It's-
obscure.
It's not going to be a huge film. It's only going
Okay.
to be for those who are in the know. Okay?
Yeah, yeah. All right.
It's a lot of drawing. It's not actual characters.
It's a
just
coloring
drawings.
book.
Yeah.
It's a coloring book.
It's
Just a
it's
flip
a
book.
connect the dots.
It's an adult
You have
connect
to
the dot
you have to
book.
do your own work.
Yes. There's like 5 blank pages where you can just draw whatever you want.
Yeah, the movie is up to you.
Yeah, it's up to
That's-
you.
And you don't. You give you the plot. We don't know what's going on. You don't
No.
know what's going on.
We
you
just shot
do
a
it.
lot of things, you know.
It's a lot of. It's a compilation of films that don't make any sense.
No.
And it's for you to enjoy, and
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Well, thank you for promoting that. Thank you guys for being on.
Very welcome.
Yeah. It's been fun. Adam
That's me.
is Adam Fullerton. That's who does the Super GamesCast 64, and Aaron is also does Super GamesCast 64. We'll be on next week with maybe Austin again. I don't know. He might be dead though. So Aaron, Cameron, thank you for being on. It was fun.
It was
Thanks
fun.
for having me.
Thanks again. That's Super Filmscast 60 or Super GamesCast 64. I'm even doing it with my own podcast, screwing up the names.
Hope y'all enjoyed.
Yeah.
Don't forget, watch my movie.
Please like, comment, subscribe to the podcast. Write us a review on iTunes. That would be great. Any kind of feedback is great. The reviews really do help. Hopefully, maybe by now, I don't know, but we should be posting these on YouTube now. Just another place you can watch, or I guess listen, watch. Would like to do live
Are we
video.
gonna do video for that?
Not video for this one. I might be I'll just
YouTube.
post on
For
YouTube,
YouTube?
and put like just a blank screen on it,
Oh, okay.
or a blank, or like just sort of a sheet with information and whatnot on it.
Sure,
So
we-
yeah.
Drawing.
So drawings and stuff.
Drawings.
Yeah, it'll be that connect the dot book.
Yeah, connect the
You
dot
have to
book.
watch all the podcasts.
You gotta watch all the
to get the
yeah,
whole
to get the
movie.
whole story. You have to
To
watch
watch
every
all of them.
podcast to get the whole story. So yeah, so look out for that. Hopefully it's up there. Just, I mean, if you can watch it or listen to it on there, I think it'll be a better way to gather more information about who's watching, how long they're watching, how many people are really listening, watching, to the podcast. So please do that. Let me know what you think. Have a great day. Thanks, guys, again, and good night.
It's called a road, it's called a rainbow road. It is a road that you go. It's called a road, it's called a rainbow road. And you will know when you get there. It's called a road, it's called a rainbow road. It is a road that you go. It's a road that you go when you die. It's a road called Rainbow Road. It's a road we're all gonna go. It's a road called Rainbow Road. It's got Princess Peach, Mario, and the Toad. It's a road called Rainbow Road. It's a road we're all gonna go. We'll go. It's Rainbow Road. It's where you go when you die. It's Rainbow Road. I'll miss you again, Uncle. It's Rainbow Road. It's where you go when you die. It's Rainbow Road. I'll miss you again on Rainbow Road. It's called a road. It's called a rainbow road. It is a road that you go.